Hey everyone, it's Jay, trying something a little different today. I really want to make more video content, but I can't just I need my notes. I need my notes. And that doesn't always, I guess, look good when you're making video content to be like looking over at your notes, but and the other thing too is that if I try to just like do it scripted, do it memorized, then there's so much editing involved and I get really like bored and tired of that. So this is a long way of saying I'm going to try to make more casual videos where I'm just going to come and read my notes to you, and if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Hopefully you get something out of it, but okay. So I want to talk to you about the Jupiter retrograde that's currently happening. If you don't know, Jupiter is currently retrograde in the sign of Taurus. It is moving from 15 degrees all the way back to 5 degrees. And that is the same set of degrees where Mercury was also retrograde just earlier this year from April 21st to May 14th. The exact same degrees of Taurus. So it kind of feels like there's some, cosmic echo or like a mirroring happening here. And I wonder if we might see themes from that April-May period, getting expanded upon somehow, getting amplified in some way, whether that's simply because that area of the chart has had so much attention this year and is now getting even more, or maybe because Jupiter is giving it a larger, louder presence. Maybe it's a mix of both of those things. But I think it can be worthwhile for us to think back to that April-May period and consider what we were reflecting on, what we were reassessing, whether that had to do with the topics and the themes in our Taurus houses in the chart, or if it was mercurial topics like communication, logistics, technology, and perhaps also our, Venus ruled things, relationships, pleasure, leisure. Maybe that Mercury retrograde was about getting organized around these themes, like ensuring that all of the little details were in order, a time of double and triple checking the data, making sure there was a solid foundation of internalized wisdom. That's really how I saw that Mercury retrograde in Taurus. It was like, let's not memorize things, let's learn things so that they're actually integrated within our body. And so there was something in that area of life that we were like relearning, but like really solidly learning and not just like memorizing a script. So, and all of that potentially paved the way for some bigger picture dreaming, cue Jupiter. So this is where I get caught up, you see. All of which paves some way for you guys. I mean, this is what it is. Just keep going, right? I should just keep going. I mean, you're seeing it now. This is the process. Trust the process. Okay, so all of which potentially paved the way for some bigger picture dreaming, some very grounded expansion, cue Jupiter. Okay, now perhaps the lessons, also known as annoyances, delays, mishaps from the Mercury retrograde, provided a much more stable ground for Jupiter to usher in all of this expansion work. So on September 25th, Mercury in Virgo is going to trine Jupiter in Taurus. And it really feels, or like that aspect really reads like getting a call from a friend who's been there, done that, and has some key details to share with you. Now, Mercury has had plenty of time to reflect on that retrograde in Taurus, and from Virgo it now has like a good vantage point to reflect back on that period of time. It kind of feels like when we go through our own rough patches and then we get enough distance from it that we can look back and, whether or not we're fully healed from it or whatever, but we can kind of contextualize it a little bit differently now that we've had some space from it. So not only that, but Mercury should technically be firing on all cylinders at this point. It's moving direct. It's in the sign of its domicile, the sign of its exaltation. Mercury has been messing about for a while now, but it should be in much better condition right now. So hopefully that makes for some clarity of mind. Now, as Mercury shares these details of its own time in the retrograde with Jupiter, Jupiter is also sending back, support and encouragement to Mercury. We're in that trine aspect, but it's also Jupiter, which is very supportive and very uplifting in a way. So both our Virgo and Taurus houses are getting a little bit of a lift today, a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of assistance. And it's kind of like a keep going, kid, you got this. Just like, I kept going with the video. It's a little bit like that. And like it's good for both short-term aspirations and long-term aspirations, because Mercury kind of working on that shorter term stuff, and then Jupiter really settling into those big picture long-term dreams. Now, if you're still kind of unclear as to what Jupiter and Mercury have been attempting to deepen your awareness around in that Taurus part of the chart, you're going to have plenty of time to really reflect on it and contemplate it and let it all sink in, because Jupiter will not return to the 15-degree mark and like clear that shadow period until March of 2024. So we've got lots of time to figure it out. I still don't really know what it means. Maybe it has something to do with this video. I don't know, but I'm still thinking about it myself. I just love when I see patterns like that happening, and I feel like I want to share it with you. I want to explore it with you. And sometimes the video editing and creating content of it all gets in my way. So I went for it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the cosmos.